103, welcome back. Second day of April, rolling around the corner in downtown Alton, Cort, Wahle in studio. See, I'm not like the ring announcer. I got it right, you know.
That was perfect.
Cort, how are we doing today, man?
Pretty well. How are you, man?
Hanging in there, you know. Fair to Midland, ready to go home already.
All right. Yeah.
But you're getting a haircut today. Life's looking great for you. You know, getting ready to lead some more classes this evening. How's everything been over at Alton Family Martial Arts and Fitness?
Other than exhausting, it's been amazing. You know? I really love to put my energy into it because it's fed back. We've been growing like crazy there. Yeah. We've got a huge team, and it's a lot to keep up with. But again, it's like a family. You're trying to keep up with, you know, people. Well,
man, I was talking just with Adam and Adam Pipert and Steve and all those guys, and just seeing on Facebook the community really that you guys have over there is so. And I say it all the time. It's really special that a fitness community really is that tight knit, and you're promoting and showing love for everybody that comes to the doors. Is that the atmosphere even inside when we're starting to roll around and get a little nitty gritty out there?
Absolutely. More so.
Yeah.
I'd say because, you know, I'm very weird myself. You know? I like to be openly awkward, and we have all mixture of people there. And when you roll, that's the struggle we all share together. You know, we all kind of got to go through the deep waters, if you would.
That's really cool. I've never heard it like that. That's awesome.
That's the big thing I find, because it's a shared struggle. You know, we all deal with the same things in life, deal with all that stuff. But when we roll, we've all had our fair share of person that just beats the snot out of us, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just something we all share and get along with, and we all have similar goals, and it's a big mixture of people there. It's a lot of fun with all the oddballs we do have.
And too, I just got to learn how to start rolling with that damn government, because this tax bill was making me sad, Cort. I'm just going to be honest with you. You take that out on the mat every once in a while?
That's mainly the kids' class thing. Yeah. You know, I don't like to bully adults too much.
Yeah, that's true.
I want them to be confident, you know? So I say it for the kids.
Well, take me through your classes, because I know that you see all walks of life coming through the door. And it seems like no matter what, if somebody, you know, maybe is out of shape and they want to use this as a tool to maybe motivate them, or picking up some really needed and crucial skills, take me through the individuals that walk through the doors never experiencing martial arts or, you know, any of this before. What are their experiences those first couple of minutes?
Well, it somewhat depends on the person, because whatever you're willing to do.
Right on.
You know, we want you comfortable, of course, before we make you uncomfortable.
True.
But I mean, I like to quickly do a quick talk to them, and it's up to them. If they come in, they could watch class, they could jump right in, as long as the waivers fill out and all that right away. But it's welcoming to all people that do come in. It's all smiley faces. As I said, we share that struggle. You see somebody, at first it might be a little intimidating, because you do see these guys get choked or armbarred. But as soon as you see that guy that gets choked or armbarred get up and smile and slap them, go again, you're kind of like, oh wait, maybe this isn't as bad.
You aren't in Kansas no more.
No,
you know?
not necessarily.
Well, and I wanted to ask you, because you hit something right on the head earlier, and that's just who you are personality-wise. You know, whenever I was... And I always tell the story, I do pro wrestling. It's not even anywhere close to the same thing you're doing. But, you know, there's always that vibe that, you know, when you're around an MMA, you know, individual, there's kind of like some intimidation factors there. With, you know, you and so many others in the MMA world now, it seems like the personality's really starting to show, and you're just your own person. You know, it's laughter, it's jovial. Is that kind of something that's newer in MMA, or is this something that I just am not familiar with? Because I love it.
In the gym, that's the norm.
Okay.
In honesty, majority of the true mixed martial arts, the true fighters I know, are the nerdiest people.
Really?
They're the nerdiest. They want to talk about anime.
I'll be damned.
That's all the top level pro fighters I know. That we want to talk about nerdy stuff. So yeah, it's goofy people majority of the time that are all about the MMA.
That's what's cool though, but it's just when your personality shows, I think that's what really helps captivate and keep people coming back, because it's welcoming for anyone at any beginner level or any type of experience level too. You know, it really is. Come in the door and let's get weird, you know, and let's figure out who we are as people while we're figuring out our techniques.
Yeah. Sometimes figuring yourself out as a person takes a little longer than technique.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Have you learned a lot about yourself going through MMA?
Through martial arts, oh yeah, and it seems there's always something new to learn.
Okay,
you know, and there's always different instances, whether it's through the kids class or through how you deal with others, or you know, instances of life you do learn from teaching, from training, from all that. You know, there's and it's a lot of perspective. Obviously, you can't learn if you're going in with a closed mind, right? But if you are being yourself, embracing all these people, not only are you learning martial arts, but you do learn much about these people in different perceptions of life, if I could say.
Do you think that you've gotten better as a fighter while since you started becoming an instructor and really growing in that role?
I definitely, technique-wise and all that, skill-wise, yes, for sure. I've learned a lot about myself. Self-awareness comes with some downsides to it. You know, it's I'd say it's a double-edged sword.
It is, for sure, 100%.
Realizing as I'm older, as I had this last fight, adrenaline hits me super hard. When I was a kid, fighting, I remember after fights, I'd be able to like immediately be calm and talk to my partner and be like, hey man, thank you for the fight after this. And after this last one, I was all wound up and screaming. It's just, it's different. Yeah. It's different, you know, but you learn many new lessons about yourself throughout. I mean, all these hardships.
That's why I think it's so beneficial, because the growth that you go through, it just seems like from an outsider looking in, is really immense, you know, through all of that.
For sure.
And before we take our first break, fill me in on some of the classes you teach for the folks that are interested for themselves or maybe even their children that need to learn some valuable skills.
I teach a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Okay. I know that just from talking before.
I mean, I teach kickboxing on Mondays and Wednesdays. I teach jiu-jitsu as well for kids and adults. Kids on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Adults almost every day for jiu-jitsu. And I teach MMA on Saturdays now as well.
Really cool.
And I do personal lessons, and I love martial arts, man. This is what I love to do, love to teach.
Man. And now here's my question. What's the best way for folks to gauge what would be of interest? Because sometimes, well, not sometimes, I'm sure a lot of the times, you have some folks that maybe have never been a part of anything like this before. And when you have all those selections, it's like, man, what should I try out? What's the best way is it just going in, kind of observing the class, seeing if that's what you're interested in? Or is it having a conversation to see what would be beneficial for them before they even walk through the door?
Conversation help a little bit, but I'm a big fan of, if it makes you uncomfortable, try it.
Yeah.
You know, you get a free week to try it all out anyways. And it's not just like, say if you're a musician, you know, watching a concert and performing, it's completely different.
Right.
As if you come in to watch, it's not going to be the same experience. Sure, it could be entertaining, but it's not the personal experience that you need to have, you know. So I recommend just really grabbing the bull by the horns and trying it out.
Well, and that's what I was curious about, too, because it seems like the last couple of years, and it's always been there, but we're starting to see more and more of the people doing the hesitancy thing where it's like, man, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should. And that's why I think that's one of the biggest lessons that you guys are really instilling in folks around here is to take those chances, you know, say yes to things and try it new. And if you don't like it, great, but at least try it and see if you do. You know, and that's what I think is so valuable about this is that you're getting people comfortable being uncomfortable again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot, like I said, the discomfort leads to growing. You know what I mean? Leads to you learning a lot about yourself when you don't have any sort of normal option out and you got to figure out your own. You know, again, it's a lot to learn from it.
What makes the gym environment over at Alton Family Martial Arts and Fitness different than any other gym that you've been around, really, in this type of setting?
In honesty, I'd say just my extra weirdness.
That's true, okay.
In totality,
Yeah.
you know, these other guys, the team has picked up on my weirdness, and it goes back to the kids' class as well. One big thing I like about being weird is if I'm the weirdest one there, none of these kids,
they feel comfortable.
They have no worry about being weird, which I pay for it a lot of the time.
I bet.
You know,
I bet a lot of honesty.
But again, it's them. They're finding that confidence in themselves. But I mean, I noticed it the other day, and it's taken me years to realize it. But I mean, some people feel bad about showing up late to class and all that stuff too. And we don't care too much. We're not militant. Whenever that person comes in, the whole class stops and screams their name out of excitement. They're like, John's here, woohoo, you know what I mean? So I saw that going down, and it's pretty cool, in my opinion. It
really is, because it's an intimidating thing to get into, you know, sometimes.
Absolutely.
And whenever you have that kind of atmosphere where it is a family, it makes it so much more easy to go in and say yes to this. And that's why I think you guys are doing just a great job and kicking ass. Do you have time to stick around?
Yeah.
9:32. I got to talk to you about your background a little bit and ask some neat questions about the fighting world. I've always been curious, and now I got a real fighter in front of me now.
I'm an open book, man. Send it away.
We'll find out after this at 9:32. A little bit of Change Our Daily Show hits you next on RiverBender.com.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway safe rubber tire dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Have a lot of fun, putting trouble on the run. Man, you find the hole in yon, twisting the night away. They're twisting, twisting. Everybody's feeling great. They're twisting, twisting. They're twisting the night away. Here's a man.
9:35. Welcome back, Cort Wahle back in studio. I got to ask you a little bit about the fighting life here. How cutthroat is it getting into fighting weight? Because I have seen some of the wrestlers in my life, the real college wrestlers and how intense that is. In the fighting world, is it just as intense to cut and make weight?
It really depends on how you do it.
Okay.
There's a right way and there's a wrong way. There's also how short notice did you take this fight? You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's easier to cut 20 pounds in 4 weeks than it is in 1.
Is it possible in a week to cut 20 pounds?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
really? See, that whole thing
yeah.
fascinates me.
So a lot of it's a lot of water, obviously. So my last one I took the fight on 3 weeks' notice, I want to say. And normally I cut my between 15 to 20 the week of the fight. I didn't want to do that throughout the week this time because it does lead to a little bit of lethargicness in myself. So I was like, we'll try it out all in one day. And I was able to cut 18 pounds in the sauna this last time.
Wow.
Not just sauna, I apologize. So before we do the sauna, the night before weigh-ins, what we do is, I shouldn't say we, not everybody does this. You can get rubbing alcohol and Epsom salts. And you put it in a bath as hot as you could take it. And you get in that bath for a while, you get out, sweat a little, get back in. And when the heat's gone, you get out, dry off, you put on a hoodie, a sweatsuit, you go to bed, and you wake up 4 or 5 pounds drenched in gross sweat. But
right, but it works.
Yes, it cuts the weight out.
Now, how do you go about dehydration and all that when you're cutting weight? Is that ever a factor?
So that's a big reason why I try to do it all in one day.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, it's even got to the point where even those shaker cups, you try to open, your hand completely cramps up because you're opening and you got no water flow to your body. Oh, yeah. It was bad after this last, I weighed in, I think I got a whole 2 gallons of water overnight, didn't pee once. It was a good time.
Oh, my God.
But I felt great.
It felt great.
I felt great, man.
Now, whenever whenever you know who your opponent is, what does that mean for training camp? Does the opponent ever dictate how long you start training camp before that bout? How does that work?
So it's not because this is my job and my career.
Yeah.
I'm always training.
Okay.
I should say. The biggest thing I think I lack in is diet because I love my food. I love my sweets. I love all that.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'd say because I do train so much and genetics probably play a factor, I do get to stay a little closer to weight. but not too often does it change up. You know, it's the same stuff. You go work your jiu-jitsu, you go work your wrestling, you go spar at other gyms. You know, it's the same routine. I'd say I definitely have a mental change where I can get a little more serious about it, but to that aspect, not too much, no. I know a lot of people do a lot of research on their opponents and whatnot. I am not one, like, I will research them, but I don't like to watch too much.
Yeah.
Because when I fight, then I'll pick something, and then I'll only watch for that rather than just doing my game, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. You're shortening
I'm
yourself.
a much better, almost improv, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, it works better for me to that aspect, but every fighter is different.
Now, do you have like a 24-hour window before the fight of, you know, the day before preparations? You know, is there any type of, you know, meditation, any type of reflection or anything for you?
Food.
That's it? Seriously?
Not too much. You know, a lot of rehydration.
Yeah.
No, I don't have routine. The only routine I used to have was after a fight, I'd like to go to IHOP.
That's awesome.
But I mean, before a fight, I watched Good Will Hunting one time. It just randomizes, you know, and that turned out really good. So, Good Will Hunting's
a thumbs up, yeah. A 5-star
good
movie.
luck. Yeah, I'm all about it.
That's really cool. It's just fascinating to hear that stuff because some, you know, the interviews I've listened to, it's like kind of a little different, you know, but hearing how you approach things is really unique. I mean, really cool, and not even unique, but just really cool. It seems like you have more of a level head when you go about these instead of, you know, like 1,000 miles an hour just ready to snap all the time.
Try to make it a norm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and it almost goes back to the training with jiu-jitsu, you know, when you are consistently in that uncomfortable spot, that doesn't become an uncomfortable spot. It becomes a normal place of work.
Because you normalize it.
Yeah, and you're relaxed. You know, you've been here before. You've survived this 1,000 times before, right? I'll survive it nice, relax this time.
So how did you get into the fighting world? Was there an influence on you, or is this something personally that you always wanted to do?
I was an ADHD kid.
Okay.
That was absolutely just all over the place. No sports really worked out for me. I started in Taekwondo and did that forever and did dozens of traditional martial arts from that time because before martial arts was a fad or a big thing around here. So we would have all the old school guys go around train. I switched over to MMA about 15, I want to say. I went to the War Room.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, and this was with Taekwondo. I was at Olympic level. You know, I was at a very high level. I trained very hard for it, and I didn't like the sport. It was becoming very watered down. So it used to be almost full contact, and it got less and less, and to the point where they're not allowed to kick each other in the face. Yeah, it's why I'd learn how to kick to the head.
Why?
But
That's a little different. Okay.
Get disqualified for kicking too hard. You know, that's.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Anyhow.
Okay.
I went to the War Room.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yes, not for me. And I went to the War Room and threw some kicks, and I remember the person at the time told the coach there, "Hey, don't take it easy on him." And I got hit, and I dropped down, got right back up, threw another kick, got dropped right away. I was like, "Oh, this is reality. This is what I want to learn." You know, this because again, going back to the personalities and weirdness of it. If you, it doesn't matter if you know how to do the technique, if you can fight well. Jiu-jitsu, MMA, it doesn't matter how weird you are, you know. If you're good at the technique, it's yours, right?
Yep. That's really cool. Man, this has been really awesome to hear more, but this is the most I've learned about the fighting world ever.
I could talk a lot.
No, I got to ask you, were you ever a UFC guy watching it, or were you someone who's kind of because I love the original UFC. I mean, that was a lot more dangerous, I'm sure, but just watching that, I mean, Ken Shamrock was just a beast. His brother was awesome, too.
The first time I met Ken Shamrock, he shook my hand and apologized for his son. Weirdest thing. I was supposed to fight his son once.
No way!
His son backed out in the week of weigh-ins.
Yeah.
They got a replacement, and Ken Shamrock was there. And I never met the guy, and it was the most sincere handshaking, sorry. I was like, I don't care, dude. I mean, I'm fighting out of the way. But, yeah, very weird first meeting. That's a tangent on that aspect.
Yeah.
But, I forgot the question.
No, it was just how UFC's, just how that sport. I didn't know if that was ever an interest.
I don't watch a whole lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd. Like I said,
Right.
I'm an athlete that doesn't. If I watch it, I'll watch my friends fight. You know, because I want to support them and see what happens with that. But then I'm like antsy. Why am I not doing this? Why am I not in the cage? You know, I'm the kind of guy that prefers to sit at home and play video games. You know, I like to be nice and relaxed.
That's super cool, man. That's just really fascinating. I mean, super fascinating. And now, getting back to Alton Family Martial Arts and Fitness, whenever you're teaching, this is a gotcha question, but I don't mean for it to be. whenever you're working, who do you like to work with the most? And I should maybe phrase it a little. What do you find the most intriguing and most rewarding for you? Is it working with somebody that's never got rolled around before? Is it working with someone who's done this for years and is finally at the breaking point of pushing forward?
This is one that's hard to measure because there are a lot of rewards.
Exactly.
There's nothing quite like being an athletic kid that does do that high-level athletic movement. Maybe it's just a forward roll even for the first time. That it's the realness of their emotion there. You know what I mean? They're not beaten down like adults are.
Yeah.
They still have it. But it's that realness of them actually being proud of themselves, them being all hyped up. But it's still cool to see. I mean, I got a kid there that started at 16, I want to say, start off as a chubby kid. Now he's the flamboyant, strike flicking, skinny, tall kid, you know, that enjoys everything that he does. The transformations are the coolest part, I will say. Because I'm very much a character-based person. I like to see that huge change of
that's how I am too.
Persona,
100%.
whether it be physical, mental, emotional, what have you. And the different conversations and stuff that I have with them and the way they react to things, you know, how things affect them is cool to see. Or not affect them, I should say, anymore. It's very cool to see.
You know what? It's two different sports, but that's how I am with soccer. If I can see a character change and really see you coming into your own, that's for me, one of the coolest things out there and really one of the most rewarding. It's cool to just see the crossover in completely different sports. Soccer, you get blown on and you're out on Highway 70 grabbing your knee, you know?
Yeah. You're rewarded for it.
You're rewarded for it with the little cheddar. They hand out the cheddar and you keep moving down the road. Hey, getting back over to the programs, I wanted to go through the classes again that you're teaching, just in case, folks, if you want to go online right now to altonfma.com/programs, you can follow along with these really great courses being taught. Cort, go ahead. Which classes do you teach again?
I teach kickboxing on Mondays and Wednesdays at 5. That's all striking. Mondays more of our technique.
Okay.
Wednesdays is our pads and sparring day. You don't have to spar, but I mean, that's most of the fun in my opinion. You know, everybody's different.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu after that at 6 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays. We have beginner class. I don't run that on Mondays, but it's fantastic.
It is. I've heard some good stuff.
It's packed anymore. It's awesome. It's really fantastic. I don't know if the word beginner, because all of our classes are very friendly in that sense, is what brought it in. And I'm going to take this tangent, but it's just really cool to see all the people that you could tell that they were very nervous or intimidated by coming in.
Yeah.
That class, they're in there, they're smiling, they're going head on with it. It's fantastic to see that. I love that addition to our schedule for sure.
Not to put you on the spot, I know I'm cutting off a question here, but whenever you hit a great point, it seems like, you know, for me, there's a lot of individuals that go, like you said, that are nervous, you know, and all that, go into that class. But the bigger question for me is finding acceptance in a group setting. Because for some people growing up as kids, it's hard to find, you know, a group of friends that accepts you or you know, wants to even, you know, kind of look at you the way that the schools are breaking down in social media. Inside your classes, inside your courses at Alton Family Martial Arts, is it almost something to where you're in a part of this kind of overarching, not just a family, but you're developing friends in this setting, I would assume too, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I thought. I mean, not to take the long way, but I mean, this is really good to build character and just build those interpersonal relationships.
No,
too.
it is, and it's weird for me because, again, I'm not somebody that's really had a lot of those in my life.
Same,
The gym has been my life. You know, the martial arts have been my life. And I've got these people that don't want anything from me. I got people in there that legitimately want to hang out with just my personality. I'm like, okay, what are we training today?
Right.
I don't know. We're just, I don't know. It's different for me. You know what I mean? But it's cool. It's appreciative. I see these guys that you would have never met if they've never done jiu-jitsu or anything of that sort, and now they're hanging out on the regular. Completely different personalities. You know. Yeah. The cop and the pothead hanging out.
Yeah. Right. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I think is so beneficial about this too, because in a world where everyone's getting more and more isolated it seems like anyway, with social media there, we're still getting more and more isolated. This is a great group to find your own, but also to establish maybe some relationships going forward and friendships and who names it, you know, that's what I find value in too. Is so many people try to find that group or find that spot where they can call home. And man, Cort, you guys are doing a great job. So whether or not it's kickboxing or youth BJJ,
jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, MMA, I run it all.
That's cool, man. And you're always gonna make sure that you're coming to life when you're hanging out with Cort over there on the mat, learning all your business. One last question for fighting for you: is there one fight that you remember the most? and it doesn't have to be a win, it could be a loss. Is there one that always kind of sticks with you, or do you kind of move, or do you have a short-term memory in this?
No, I remember them all pretty clearly.
Really? Okay.
No, I've got a pretty good ADHD at the wazoo for like short term, not gone, but I can remember like videos in my brain of what happened. I'd say it was one of my amateur fights. Might have been my first legal one, I want to say. Just the way it ended, because I was in mount and I punched him, and it was just, the blood explosion was the coolest thing. I don't know. Never seen it before, but it just went straight up.
Like it's a movie.
And straight out.
Yeah.
It was the coolest thing, in my opinion, for it. I mean, I've had other experience. I've been on that other end side of taking the punch to the face. I've had negative things, too. I've had one fight lost because I got hit while I was on the ground. My head hit the canvas, and I lost vision. Yep. Everything went white. I didn't know it was a thing. And the doctor came over, and he was like, hey, man, is everything all right? I was like, yeah, I just can't open my eyes. He's like, you're staring right at me. And I had my heart dropped there because, like, I thought I was going blind.
Exactly.
You know? It was just fluorescent, essentially. It was all fluorescent white. And it took 2 or 3 minutes for it all to come back. But I'd say that was the scariest instance of the MMA fights. But the cool one, the blood explosion.
Yeah, the blood explosion. On blood explosion. Always.
Yeah.
For more information, as always, AltonFMA.com. That's AltonFMA.com. Really get involved with this, folks. I mean, on social media, just the group of people tagging your classes and social media posts are just, celebrating personal growth through the gym is the coolest thing to see. Cort, keep up the great work, man. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I told you 20 minutes, and 30 minutes later, here we are still talking.
These mouths, man.
Get on over to that haircut. I know that you've been monitoring pretty closely.
I'll do my best.
James, I will get in again in about a week or two. I'm going to hold my Cort is, making me kind of, we did. Yeah. Very good, honest talk. 9:49, we'll come back with more of our daily show right after this in downtown Alton.